Hello everyone, this is Salman. This is lab 5 of SQL Server. So in this video, we are going to see particularly what is data types and what are the different type of data present in SQL Server along with the examples. So SQL Server data types. The data type ensure which type of data or column or variable can store in SQL Server. We already saw how we can create table, right? So for creating a table, we need columns, right? Inside the column, we store our data, isn't it? So this is name of the column, and this is what data types is. So this particular name column is type of varchar data type. So this particular age, this is the type of the data which we can store inside this particular age column. This is what data types is all about. We are required to specify the data type in advance for each column of table, right? So indeed, we have to mention what type of data a particular column is. When we create our table, we have to mention what type of data the particular column is. When we assign the appropriate data type to column, we can make efficient use of memory by allocating the amount of system memory required for data in the relevant column. We will see what this all in the upcoming slides. So SQL Server basically provides broad category of standard data type on the user needs. First, we are going to see exact numeric data type. With this data type, we can store the numbers present. So these all are data types present in the exact numeric data types category. First, bit. In this bit data type, it occupies 1 byte of storage in your hard disk, and we can store the lower range of data is 0 and the upper range of value is 1. We can't store above 1 and below 0. This is for only to store 0 and 1. So the next data type is tiny int. In this, we can store lower range 0 and upper range value of 255. It also takes 1 byte, and small int from -3 to 7682 plus 3767. It occupies 2 byte of storage in your hard disk. Likewise, int and big int is all are to store numbers in your columns. And with this data type, we can store numbers. So this decimal and numeric, this data type of for storing decimal values. We can't store decimal values inside this bit, tiny int, small int, big int. We can't store decimal values, but we can store decimal values in this decimal data type and the numeric data type. This P and S I will explain you later. That is nothing but a precision and scale. So next, the other two exact numeric data type, small money and money. If you want your data like this comma separated and you want the money formatted value, we use this small money and money. So on the next approximate numeric data types, this also same like a decimal. With that we can store decimal values, but it has some difference. I will explain you later. Character string data type. With this character string data type, we can store string inside a column. So see here, char, varchar, max. These all are character string data type. We can store 0 characters to 8000 characters inside this char. N bytes. The n bytes means we can specify the limit up to within 8000, but we can specify 2000, 3000, 4000 like that. This second type is varchar, and this n is nothing but the number of characters you going to save inside it. So this char and varchar, this is variable character, this is normal char. We will see the difference later. And maximum amount of, in case we want to use the full amount of storage assigned for this particular varchar, we mention it max. If you know the length, we can mention it, we are specify it here. But if you want a max amount of storage we need, we can mention it max. And Unicode characteristic, this also same, but there is a big difference between that. If we want to store only English language like that, we can use this character string data type. But if you want other languages like Chinese, Japan, Tamil. Like that, we should use this Unicode character string data type. This is non-Unicode, this is Unicode. This char, varchar, max, this all are non-Unicode character string data type. This nchar and nvarchar, these are non-Unicode character string data type. From this, 0 characters to 2 times n bytes, 0 characters to 4,000 characters 2 times. So another difference is the storage. If you want to store a single character inside the character string data type, it occupies 1 byte. 1 byte, 1 character per byte. But in this Unicode character string data type, date and time data types. So these are the date and time data types. Inside that, a lot of data types are present here. If we want to store the date in your table in the particular column, we can use these data types. So why we need data types? So see here the nice picture of Ronaldo. You all do know Ronaldo, don't you? So Ronaldo has, I saw an article in that they mentioned Ronaldo has more than 20 luxurious cars. I mean, this is the example. So if we want to store the car name, rating, top speed, and date, if we want to store the particular information as a table inside our RDBMS, how we can store it? We already saw how we can create table under data, update data, and delete data. We all saw that, but now we are going to see the data types, why we need data types, and how we can use it efficiently with the practical example. Let's get into it. So now we are going to see the practical part. We already saw how to create a table. If you didn't watch the video, please, I suggest you go and watch our previous videos in that we explain how to create table, insert data into the table, update it, delete it. We explained it clearly. If you didn't watch that, please go and watch it and come back here again. So first we are going to create a table to store that Ronaldo cards details. First, to create table, create table, name of the table Ronaldo car is the name of the table. Our first car name. What data type we can use here? So the first column is car name. So car name, what data type we can use here? Think about it. Char, we can store up to 8,000 character. We can easily use this data type. We can use also varchar, but varchar max is not appropriate data type to use for this column, isn't it? So the second, Unicode. Unicode is for other languages other than English languages, other cultures. Japanese, I already told you. So for this we can use char data type with the length of 30. 30 is enough, I think, isn't it? So first column is car name with the char as a data type. The length of it is 30. We can store up to number of 30 character inside this column itself. So second data type is rating to the core. Here, think about it, what data type we can use, what data type would be appropriate to use here. If you see this table here, we can't use bit, we can use tiny int. Yeah, from 0 to 255 is the upper range. So we can easily use this tiny int, but small int, big int, these are for big numbers. If you use, you can also use this, but it occupies more, it requires more storage for it. It is unnecessary and inappropriate to use these larger data types. We already have this data type, which is more than sufficient. So we should go for this tiny int. So tiny int as a data type. So the third column is top speed. See, this top speed column contains number and also letters. So this is alphanumeric. What data type would be efficient to use here? So again, we contain numbers and English letters only, so we can easily and use this char data type again with the length of 20 is enough, I think. So select it all and execute it. Command is completed successfully. We are inside the stranger warehouse database. See here, Ronaldo core, refresh it. If you do expand it, stranger warehouse, tables, you see Ronaldo core is here. We have created successfully the table. Let's insert the data. We already see how to insert data into a table. Insert this data, these values inside our table. Select it all, execute it. 2 rows got affected. So now let's see what are the data present inside our table. Select store from Ronaldo core. Now you see these 2 data get inserted. So now let's see why we can use data types. So this is the query to insert value into our table. The third value is Bentley. We have to insert a string in the first column, so it will create no problem. So second, we have to give an integer. Instead, what will happen if we give that as a string? Let's try it. 3, and the top speed is 334, which is a string. Select it all and execute it. You will see the error. Conversion failed when converting the varchar value 3 to data type tiny int. Because this column is particularly tiny int, we have to give integer value to that particular column. Instead, we have given a string as an input, so it will create error. What we should do, we should give the actual integer so that it will create no problem. Select it all and execute it. Now you see the row get inserted, 1 row got affected. If you execute the statement, we can see what are the data present inside our table. Now we see Bugatti, Lamborghini, Bentley. So data type. So this is the point. Data type specification also prevents the user from entering unexpected data or invalid information. In the second column, we have to give integer. Instead, we have given string as the input, so it showed error to us. Now we corrected and inserted, the row get inserted. This is why we need data type. And also we have to use the appropriate data type for the particular column. Here we see core name carries more than enough. To tiny int, we can store up to 255. This is also enough. So this is all about this video, guys. And we have this date column. We will see that is what the next video is about. So I hope you understand this concept. If you have still any doubt, comment down that below. I will reach you and respond you immediately. So I hope you enjoyed this video.